What's going on, everybody? Tanner here with Avid Outdoors TV. I just wanted to pop on and give you guys a quick video. So, you might notice that there's this Ziploc bag beside me on my bench. And why you should have a Ziploc bag and why I have a Ziploc bag. Now, if you fish, you probably already have some system in place for organizing and storing your baits, whether that's a tackle box, Plano trays. I have totes, baskets, bags, Planos, you name it. I have all of it. Ziploc bags are great because they're cheap. You can typically, any brand you want, it doesn't matter. You can typically get them in boxes of 30 on sale at your local grocery stores for, I don't know, $3. Think about that, $3 for 30 tackle storage systems. Nice thing is if you have lots of these on hand, you catch some fish you want to take home for the pan, just dump your baits into one of your pre-existing bags, remember which one you put it in, and put your fillets in there. Anyways, I call these my geek out bags. This one happens to be my favorite technique, drop shotting. I love drop shotting for smallmouth bass. Honestly, my favorite freshwater species to target, other than the great walleye. Walleyes are my favorite fish to eat. Fun to chase. I love to drop shot for walleye and for smallmouth, and a drop shot for largemouth when they're finicky too. But that is a little different ball game. We're not going to really get into today. But what I keep in my geek out bag for drop shotting, some of my favorite plastics, my favorite hooks that I use, and as well as some of my leader and tippet material I use, right down to some of my weights. So let's get started here first with hooks. As some of you may know, focus, there we go, I am a huge VMC fan. Now these are the Sure Set drop shot hooks. These are size 1. They are the needle point. Oh, and I just broke the package because, well, it's seen some sun. I also spent about 85% of my time last year fishing, drop shotting, or fly fishing. So, there it is right there. Focus, there it is. Super good quality hooks. Love them, can't complain. They pin great, they sharpen up, fantastic. So those are the hooks I use for almost every single drop shot I tie on. But what I tie on to is right here. This is kind of a multi-purpose leader and tippet holder. I got everything from, what's on here, 4-pound up to 14-pound in nylon coated fluoro, sorry. I have your typical fluorocarbons. I have some quality copolymer style mono tippet on here. Now typically where I am drop shotting, the water is green stain, but it is clear green stain, so I am putting on typically a clear fluoro, or I do have some nice gold transition, which in the sunlight on those high sunny days, it stands out bright when you're casting. You can see it really nicely, but it is virtually invisible completely underwater. And I run a 7-foot fluoro leader for drop shot. I'll tie a 7-foot onto this onto my typical 10-pound mainline braid, and then I run it down to, oh, there's one tied up right there. Look at that. Anyways, I run typically eco metal or tungsten drop shot weights. I do use pencil weights depending on the bottom structure and environment. Just the pinch on ones that you can get. Just because I would sooner lose the weight than the hook and my bait, especially because some of the baits I use, some of them are pricier, but they're still affordable. Sorry about that. Let's turn off my phone here. And sorry, where was I? Oh, some of them are extremely durable, and some of them are a little bit pricier. They're not too outrageous, but you're still paying 10 bucks for a pack of 8 or 10 baits, or sometimes less depending on what bait it is you're using. I'm huge into artificials, plastics, that sort of thing. So we're gonna go over some of the ones that I use in my Geek Out bag, and typically what I will do, my buddy Austin, the other half of Avid, he kind of goes nuts for my stupid bag thing, but it works good for me. It's very portable, it's very easy. You grab a bag. If you know, oh, I'm gonna head out in the boat, toss them all in. If you're gonna head out in your float tube or your kayak, you can, you know, you have a general idea of where you're gonna go to fish, so you know what you're kind of gonna be using in that area. Toss it in the truck, toss it in the tube, toss it in the kayak. If you're going off of an offshore mission on the creeks or the rivers, or you know, just a honey hole offshore that's difficult to access for most people on the lakes, it's easier to carry this in with the essentials rather than packing in your great big tackle box. I know I've seen a lot of guys out there with those ginormous Cabela's tackle boxes, and for me, I mean, if I'm rolling around in my truck, I typically have 3 totes with me, plus a float tube, plus waders, wading boots, you name it, I got it. I'm ready to fish any circumstance, whether it be conventional, fly fishing, or you know, sometimes even bow fishing, depending on the time of year and if a guy's able to get out. We don't have a ton of options for it here where we are, but you never know. So let's go over some of this stuff. So first up, one of my favorites, KVD Perfect Plastics from Strike King. This is the Dropshot leech. This is the watermelon seed coffee scented 10-pack. I absolutely love these things. They're absolutely amazing. They smell so good they almost make you want to eat them yourself. Trust me, don't. I haven't eaten any, but it's been tempting. Amazing baits. I had one of my best days on water last year for walleye with these baits right here on a drop shot. If they weren't hitting the drop shot, I was dragging it slow on bottom with an Erie stand-up jig. Absolutely crushed them. You can't go wrong. The durability isn't stellar, but if you can hook up with any more than 2 fish on one bait, I personally think you're doing good. Especially, they are plastics, they're disposable. And guys, make sure when you're done with them, you don't chuck them in the water, you don't chuck them on shore. Grab a garbage can or a bag and keep it in your boat. And when that gets full, throw it out at the ramp where there's a garbage can. Alright, a couple more of my faves here is from Z-Man. That's right, Z-Man. These are finesse shads. Yes, finesse shads. And they have an amazing action. They fish so well on a drop shot. It doesn't matter the lead you're putting on them, distance between hook and weight, but man, and the durability. When they say that they're 10 times tough, they're not messing around. I'm not even kidding. I have caught 20 plus smallmouth bass on these things. And I know bass don't have teeth. Their teeth are on their lips and they're more like a gripper, like sandpaper. But you know what? Never do they get shredded. Chances are of losing one of these to a fish is almost 0 compared to losing them in the weeds. I'm not even kidding. So these two, this one is green pumpkin with blue fleck. I don't know if you guys can see that. Let's have a look. Get some of those up in there. Block my face out here. Yeah, you can see that blue fleck in there. Absolutely dynamite. Love these things. And then this one happens to be the same. Now I have, yeah, see, I'm out of the smoke color. I think it was dirt smoke. Yeah, that's what I started with last year, and man, they were absolutely killer. So then I have blue steel, and then I have just the pearl whites. I went through a lot of these. My buddy Nathan, who's another member of our team, he he hammered his Master Angler smallmouth on these last year. Absolutely love them. Always, if I can't get them, I'm in a little bit of a sour mood, I'm not gonna lie. But if you can get them, always have them in your geek out bag. Always. Moving on. These Yum Senko stick baits. They are pretty good. They're cheaper, which is nice. You can rig these things multiple ways. I do rig them wacky on a drop shot, and that's about the only way. I don't fish them a ton, but they are great. I throw them around a lot of stocky weed, where it's sparse but stocky and very fibrous. They work awesome. Next we have the Havoc Bottom Hopper Junior. Very similar to the Z-Mans, Finesse Shads. Just a little bit more of affordable of an option. These are $3.99 at Bass Pro and Cabela's, and you get 15 in a pack. That's pretty good. Oh, and then we have some more KVD Perfect Plastics in the Dream Shot. And which ones are these? These are coffee scented as well. This is the KVD Magic color. Don't have many of those left, gonna have to find more. And then I do believe, oh yes, Berkeley Power Bait minnows, 4-inch I believe. Yep, 4-inch. I'll fish these on a jig head too, but I snout hook them. I do typically cut down the head about 1/2 inch, so I trim them up to about 3.5 inches, and I basically just snout hook them. And I just twitch those through the weeds, through the rock, especially on the rock for the smallmouth around here for us. Great bait. These, if you're buying them at Canadian Tire, I think they're like $8, $10, somewhere in there. You'll definitely find them cheaper other places. And another go-to walleye bait right here. Absolutely awesome walleye bait. And then, oh, there's a couple stragglers at the bottom of the bag. But like I said, guys, you got a Ziploc bag. Let's say you caught some tasty walleyes or whatnot for the pan. You're gonna take them home. These things are so handy. If you don't have another bag with you because you just grabbed one bag to go for a quick hour fish, you know, if you didn't pile a ton of baits in there and you don't have loose hooks, you could always stick them in your jean pocket. Put your tasties in there, head her home. Anyways, that's it for now, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed. Stay tuned for more upcoming videos, and as always, stay avid.